Right-wing radio host Michael Savage has a brilliant theory on who's to blame for the market crash. It plunged the other day. Now, thankfully, it stabilized, so this apparently was not the big one. I still think the big one is coming at some point. I don't know exactly when, and I've been upfront about that from the beginning, that I think the market's going to crash. I just don't know exactly when that's going to happen. But let's see who Michael Savage blames.
This downside is going to hit you very, very hard very soon, which is exactly what the deep state wants. Why do they want this? It's real simple to me. The feds are doing this on purpose by running up interest rates to weaken Donald Trump, whose strongest calling card is the economy. Remember, Trump triumphed over Mueller and the nation last week with the release of that memo. Never mind what little Adam Schiff says. Adam Schiff is a fraud, a phony, an empty suit. Robert Hall doesn't even have a suit that would fit him. They're trying to destroy Trump's strongest card, which is the economy. Mueller has gone nowhere with his fake Russia investigation. Trump's stirring so-to speech last week was so great that even CBS admitted 75% of the people who watched it approved of it and loved it. So what happened right afterwards? The establishment, meaning the deep state, call it whatever you want, went into overdrive to destroy Trump or try to destroy him where he is strongest because they couldn't get him where they thought he was weakest. And so they're taking the market down. They're trying to hurt you. They are the enemies of the average American. Make no mistake about it. They're going for you. These people are so evil and so power drunk that they'd burn the nation to the ground rather than let Donald Trump live another day in office. Do you understand this?
So Michael Savage is either a crazy person and he's genuinely unhinged, or he's an actor. Those are the only two options. He's either off his rocker or he's an actor. Because he has always been the craziest right-wing radio host. Michael Savage makes Rush Limbaugh look like Noam Chomsky. And that might not be an exaggeration. One time he said we should nuke 1 million Muslims. Just random. Like, yeah, we should take out 1 million of them. Just nuke innocent women, children, doesn't matter. Nuke 1 million of them. Yeah, he's just on Neptune. He's so out there. But, so let's break this down. He says the deep state crashed the economy on purpose. Now, unlike some silly people on the Democratic side, I say the deep state is definitely real. There's no doubt about that. I mean, the deep state, the intelligence agencies, the CIA, the NSA, that's the deep state. People who are basically in the government as a career, and they're there all the time. The administrations come in and out. Politicians come in and out. But they're always there. So is the deep state real? Yeah, you bet your ass they're real, and they do coups of foreign governments all the time, and they control shit that they shouldn't be controlling, and they're unaccountable. So of course the deep state's real. There's no doubt about that. But the deep state tanking the market on purpose, nowhere near true. Well, why? So let's think through it a little bit. First of all, a lot of the people in the deep state are elites. They're elites, like most people in top positions in our government. Well, the market is a reflection of how elites are doing in our country. It's a reflection of how corporations are doing. It's a reflection of how the rich are doing. The deep state, packed full of elitists and rich people. So if they're tanking the market, they're also tanking their own portfolios. So they're going to own Trump by destroying their retirement savings? That doesn't make any sense. Furthermore, Occam's razor, dipshit. The deep state is tanking the economy to take out Trump. Or the economy is a house of fucking cards, and that's why there was a giant plunge the other day. And like I said, even though it wasn't the big crash, it's coming at some point, guarantee you. Why? Because all the signs are there, man. We have a roaring market. Well, remember what happened after the roaring 20s? The Great Depression. Remember what happened after the late 1990s and 2000s when we had the roaring market then? We had the subprime mortgage crisis and the Great Recession. Historically, if you have a boom cycle, it's followed by a bust cycle. You can have growth, but the way to make the growth sustainable is to have regulation of the marketplace, strong regulation, and steady growth over time. We don't have that. We're having boom cycles. That means a bust is going to follow it for sure. So Occam's razor says, no, the fundamentals of the economy are all fucked up. There's massive deregulation of Wall Street. There's a multi-trillion-dollar unregulated derivatives market. There's a reinflation of the housing bubble. There's over $1 trillion in student loan debt, over $1 trillion in credit card debt. Wages have been stagnant since the 1980s. Corporate profits are through the roof. The rich are at a historic point at the moment. We have record income and wealth inequality. So that's why there's going to be a fucking crash, because the economy's all fucked up. I mean, these guys, man. And then also the idea that like Trump is not kind of in lockstep with the deep state. Look at his foreign policy, and you'll see clearly he's doing exactly what the deep state wants. So what does the deep state want? Well, one thing they want is endless war. Okay, Trump just announced we're staying indefinitely in Syria. That's exactly what the deep state wants. We're drone striking 8 different countries. We're still in Iraq and Afghanistan. This is all what the deep state wants, and Trump is doing it. Trump has Goldman Sachs in his administration writing his tax bill and making economic decisions. That's exactly what the deep state wants. So this idea of a conflict between him and the deep state, that's just not true. The deep state is unquestionably real, but they've also found a loyal puppet in Trump, because he doesn't have an ideology. He's a vapid vessel, and they can latch on to him and do what they want. Even on the Russia issue, Donald Trump armed rebels in Ukraine. That's massively anti-Russia. Built up NATO's troops on their border. That's massively anti-Russia. Did more sanctions over Crimea. That's massively anti-Russia. Flying U.S. planes, fighter planes, by the Black Sea, by their border. That's anti-Russia. So even though there's the Democrat hysteria of Russia, 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 and he's Putin's puppet, there's no evidence of that. The overwhelming majority of his policies are against Russia. That's exactly what the deep state wants. So he's doing their bidding. He's not some sort of, it's him versus the deep state. That's ridiculous. So anyway, Michael Savage is a clown, and that's clear. And he might even be worth listening to just because it's entertaining how out there he is.